We spent 2 days in Bellingham before driving from there to Gig Harbor, 142 miles away. We left Bellingham around 10 a.m. on August 30th and drove south on the I-5 to the 405 and then on through Tacoma to Gig Harbor.
Good. Huh? Good. Alright, let me get my food. Okay.
We started out filming, but we stopped since we were driving in a city for the first time in a couple of months, and there was nothing that scenic to film. The traffic was heavy, but it moved along, so we were lucky that day.
You do me a favor with the camera? First, punch the stop button to stop the recording. And then press the side button for 3 seconds and then release.
We were supposed to spend 7 nights at the Gig Harbor RV Park. Actually, at the time, it was called the Gig Harbor RV Resort, but there was really nothing resort-like in this park. More about this park later. The day after we arrived, we took the boys to get groomed at Clip and Clean Grooming Shop in Tacoma. We had been experiencing a slow leak in one of the tires of the Jeep, so we got that fixed, and we got the Jeep's oil changed too. We also picked up some yummy fresh corn at a local market. The next day we drove up to Silverdale, Washington to have lunch at Cash Brewery with some old Navy friends of Louie, Barb and Vince. It was a beautiful day out, so we took these pictures after lunch. The next evening we met another of Louie's old Navy friends, Robert and his wife Lori, for beers at Seven Seas Brewing in Gig Harbor. From there we walked down to Tide's Tavern for dinner. We were joined there by a friend of Robert and Lori. That was an interesting evening. Shortly after we got to Tide's Tavern, I decided to drive back up to the RV to check on the dogs. When I got back to Tide's Tavern, the atmosphere had changed dramatically, as their friend was now totally wasted. Nevertheless, we had a nice time with them. Sadly, we did not take a single picture that evening. That Sunday, we had brunch with Michael, also known as Shelley, at the Leary Traveler in Seattle. Again, we did not take any pictures. The day before we left, we drove back into Seattle to see our friends Gary and Mitchell at Linda's Tavern. Again, we were remiss at taking pictures, so this picture of me with Buddy is the only one we have from that visit. After we returned to the RV, I put the drone up in the air for some aerial footage of the RV park as well as the harbor itself. We decided that day to leave Gig Harbor a day early. The smoke from nearby fires was getting pretty bad, so we were ready to push south. The fires were so bad that there was ash falling everywhere. We did not care much for the Gig Harbor RV resort. Although the setting under the trees was lovely, we could not get a view of the satellites for our dish TV. The park had cable TV, but the signal was so weak that the picture was terribly grainy. As far as the town itself goes, it is lovely. However, the people there are some of the most arrogant and entitled I have ever encountered. We will not be returning to Gig Harbor.